Welcome back to the sunny fields of Perthshire, but it's still freezing cold, hence the woolly hat. So, I am back. We get into the shade a little bit. Maybe try that way. Nope, that way. There we go. I am back. I'm back next to the old medieval fort in the neighbouring field that produced what I believe might be a diamond and sapphire ring, which would be nice. But also can't help but feel kind of sorry for whoever lost that 50 or 100 years ago. It must have been a painful loss. Also have to say, amazing, thank you, 20,500 subscribers. Unbelievable. I can't believe the growth of my channel has just been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. I was hoping for the 1st of January for 9,000 subscribers, and by the middle of December it looked unlikely, and then everyone started to go off for Christmas and be stuck at home with the family, and suddenly I surged past the 9,000 and now 20,500. 31st of March is Detectivist, so me, Simon, Martin, Pete and Albert are all going down, 5 of us, so we might see some of you there. So as I say, I'm back on the field that produced that ring. Lots and lots of signals. It's a field that I've overlooked for a long time. So let's see what we can find. Oh, and if you're not already subscribed, then hit the button. It doesn't cost you a penny, and 66% of my viewers are not subscribers, so hit the button. And as ever, I'm on the XP Days 2. I'm going with Program 3, Square Tones, and that is it. And here is a rare view. Look at that for scenery. Oh, the beautiful hills of Perthshire. Absolutely gorgeous. Not even 60 seconds and we've got our first digger. $84. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to tempt fate. Well, it's sounding pretty good. I'm going to tempt fate. It's a coin. Sounds like my pinpointers running out of battery. Don't believe it. Don't worry, I've got spares at home. So we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. I think that's it there, and that ain't a coin. That is it. What have we got? We've got a thing. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. What is that? Oh, you beauty. Look at that. That is a peacock. Oh my God. It's got stones in it, which a lot of them are missing. It's some sort of brooch, I think. Oh, what a start. Hole number 1. And we're in with a copper alloy. That is stunning. That is really, really stunning. Be careful just in case any stones fall out. Just a wee gentle rub. That is fantastic. So look at all those little dots. They would have all been inset with stones. Oh man. That is stunning. Well, how old is it? I'm going to say Victorian, so probably 1830s to 1900, but we'll have a look at that in the light box when I get home. But that is, what a thing of beauty. Really, really beautiful thing. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What a start. Unbelievable. Oh dear, oh dear. This one was a squeaky 69 I see something green right there. Oh, it's glass actually. So I was wrong. It's not green. Or it's not that. Right, maybe a button. Maybe a button. Maybe. Oh, actually show you what I'm doing. Nope. Ah. How did we ever survive without pinpointers? Nope. Oh, it's picking up my spade. Oh, there it is right there, look. Ah, it's a bit of tin can. What an idiot. Can't believe I'm out of batteries. I've been going for about 10 minutes. I think I've dug probably 10, maybe even 12 holes. Lots of bits of copper, aluminium, just general junk. It's a very, very busy field. But here, is a very penny-like sounding 87. I know, I shouldn't have said it, but I did. The only thing is, I don't know how I used to detect without a pinpointer. Well, at least I found it relatively quickly. So we've got a clod. What is that? Is that lead? Nope. It's a bit of pottery. Right, I don't see anything sticking out. Not in there. Not in there. Yep, it's definitely in here. Oh, there is a whiskey bottle top. Oh, it's decorated, or it's got a label on it at least, which is better than a plain whiskey bottle top. Let's see if we can figure out what beverage they were drinking back then. Let's see. Oh, it's quite badly worn away. Tough one. It's seen better days. Something Ellers. Nah, not sure. Too far gone, I think. If anyone can make that out, I'll see what the light box does when I get home, but I think it's just too worn. It looks like it ends L-L-E-R-S. Millers, maybe, or obviously not that Millers, but yeah, something. Oh well. We've got another one here, 81. It's very erratic sounding. It's out the hole. What I initially thought was the target is actually a potato. Oh, there it is there. Ah, now that is something with a couple of rivets in it at the end there. Can you see them? Well, it's copper, or copper alloy. I'm looking at it going, oof, could it be a strap end? Some sort of belt fitting? That would be nice, but I don't think it is. It's too fat. But look, there's a couple of little rivets there. Do you see them in the end? Two little studs. And it's pretty green. I don't think it looks very old. But it's definitely something. I don't know, maybe some kind of hinge or such like, but yeah, unfortunately I don't think it's ancient. But as ever, let me know in the comments below. An ear-blowing shallow target this time produces a great big lump of bronze. Again, maybe a little sign of metalworking, but it's just plain, no decoration. This time an 84. Kind of come in a little bit from the edge of the field, getting a lot of junk now, a lot of tin, a lot of aluminium, quite close to a little pathway. Didn't do a very good job of digging that. Let's try again. It's a very faint signal. Is it deep? Is it something on its edge? Is it just something small? Well, I was kind of hoping it was going to be a bit shallower than that because of the pinpointer issue. Well, now it sounds a lot better, so I think I've moved it, whatever it is. So hopefully, nope, still in the hole. Come on. Nope. Bizarre. Right, take another couple out and then I'll turn you off if I haven't got it. It's out. It's out. And it's an ear blower. But is it a good ear blower or a bad ear blower? Somewhere around here. Somewhere in my hand, in fact. What's that? That is big and heavy. And that is possibly another bit of bronze, maybe. Let's give it a brush, see if there's any detail on there. Well, can't see anything obvious. But it's a chunky little thing. So are there lines on there? Or is it just a bit of dross from casting metal? I'm undecided. Can't make my mind up. I'm going to have to clean that up when I get home. I think it's just casting dross. But it is a hefty lump of bronze. Probably weighs about 60 grams or so, about 2 ounces. So, yeah, maybe a sign of metal working. I tell you what, if there's an Anglo-Saxon hoard buried at 15 inches at Detectorist, I'm finding it with this 13-inch coil. I just hope it's made from aluminium. Well, we got another really squeaky, quiet signal. It's come from very deep down, 14, 15 inches. Is it an axe head? I don't think so, but it would be nice if it was. It's not an axe head. I just saw that rough shape and I just thought to myself, could it be? But it isn't. It's some sort of thing. Well, it's got writing on it. Wait a second, is it going to be made in England? I don't even know what that is, but it weighs a lot. Very, very heavy. Well, we've got lots and lots of letters. 30B626 HDA55, whatever that means. So if you know what the hell that is, then let me know. Not even sure what it's made of. But it's very heavy. Probably weighs about 4 ounces, about 100 odd grams or more. Maybe even 150. So let me know in the comments below. This one had no right to be, but it is a coin. First coin of the day. It's a 1 penny. You can see Britannia. And it is gorgeous George the 5th. You can see his head looking to the left. It's quite shiny. It's very sandy, this part of the field. You can see the soil is pretty sharp. And date-wise, we have got 1916. So that was a significant year in British and Irish history. That was what was called the Easter Rising, which took place in Dublin, where the Republicans, they seized, if I remember right, it was the GPO, the General Post Office in Dublin, and they declared that Ireland was independent from the United Kingdom, and the British responded by sending thousands of troops, artillery and gunboats to Dublin, and the result was not quite a massacre, but it was pretty horrific. Hundreds and hundreds of people were killed in Dublin, both civilian and combatants, and afterwards there's a jail close to Dublin, Kilmainham jail. I've been to it before, and the ringleaders were sent there, and there was one famous man called James Connolly, and he was actually born in the 1860s in Edinburgh to Irish parents who had emigrated, and he was born in the Cowgate, which is very close to the Grassmarket in Edinburgh, and he went on to become a socialist figure, and he was involved in the uprising, and he actually lost his life. He was shot by a firing squad along with about a dozen other people involved in organising the Easter Rising of 1916. But it was a horrific way that he died. He was already mortally wounded, and if I remember right, he was brought out by stretcher and he was tied to a chair because he was so close to death, and he was shot. And that was a terrible mistake by the British, because it was a PR coup for the Republicans. People who probably didn't think of themselves as Republicans suddenly thought what a horrific thing for the British to have done. And much of Ireland was destroyed. Not Ireland, sorry, Dublin was destroyed. So there you go, from the year of the Easter Rising, George V. This one was a very squeaky target, and I'm afraid, as we say in Scotland, I think there's been a murder. This is a pigeon tag, I think. Last time I got one of these, there was still a leg bone in it. I hope not this time. No, it looks like the bone has disappeared. But yeah, this is a pigeon tag. This would have been attached to a homing pigeon. People who would have done it for sport as a hobby. Still quite popular. So, well, that is quite old, because I'm sure that number there, which is 67, I think that's 1967. Looks in good condition for 1967, but I suppose it is aluminium. So let me know in the comments. Got some letters there, and we've got 4185574. Come in, your time is up. You know what I think that actually says? I think that's BELG. Would that be Belgium? A pigeon from Belgium who met its match sometime after 1967 in Scotland. Well, let me know in the comments, but it doesn't look old enough to be from 1967, but I'm happy to be proven wrong. This time, 72, 73. So, what's it going to be? I'm surprised I haven't had a button yet, to be honest, but it sounds a bit too high for a button, unless it's a military one. Sound a little bit better with the top off. Right. We're out. We're out. We're out. So, what is that? There's something round. There is something round. Is it a coin? It's not. It's another bit of lead. Or in fact, it might be a bullet. I think it is. I thought it was maybe going to be one of those lead tokens, but let me see. I think it might be a very severely impacted bullet or musket ball. I think it is. Get you in the light a little bit. Yeah, you see how it's sort of quite angry on the back, all these lines, but on the other side it's quite smooth, and it's also slightly dome shaped. So that's a musket ball or a button. Musket ball or a bullet that's hit something very hard at very fast speed, and it's pancaked. So who knows, 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, we'll never know. Well, when I got that peacock on the first hole, I thought, this is going to be tough to beat. This is going to be surely my best find of the day. We'll get an 8991. It's a screamer. Could be Big Georgian. Dare I say, could be silver. But then again, could be a bottle top. So, there's something there. It's round. It's a big nut, is it? Oh, it's not. It's worse than a nut. It's another one of these things. Smaller this time. Don't believe it. Yeah, I don't know what that's made of, but it's incredibly heavy. I don't know. I wonder if it could be to do with like a power line or something like that. But there isn't one very close by. There's one a fair distance away, but looks like it's got a number on it, maybe a 5. But other than that, this one looks to be plain. So I've no idea what that is, and I've no idea what it's made of. If it's bronze, or if it's lead, or it's just a great big chunk of copper. But, as ever, let me know in the comments below. This one was really erratic, not particularly deep. I used to find lots of these when I first started detecting in Perthshire, and haven't had one for quite some time. But let's see if there's any letters on it. There are, I think. Oh, it's going to be difficult to read, I think, but I think it's D-U-N-D-E-E, Dundee, possibly. Let's see if there's something on that side. I think there has been, but it's corroded away. But these are crimps to seal bags, very specific bags, which are parcel bags. So these are for the Royal Mail, the postal service in the United Kingdom. And these were big Hessian sacks, very big strong sacks that could hold like 50 kilos, like 120 pounds of mail. And they used to sell them off, and farmers used to often buy them because they were perfect for putting grain in and seed and such like. So upcycling or recycling, date wise probably from the sort of 1850 to the middle of the 1900s. Oh, and Dundee would have been the sorting office. That's where the parcels would have been headed to. The one thing I have noticed about this big 13-inch coil is it can be a bit difficult to read the signals compared with the 11-inch. Someone did mention that the sensitivity of the coil would be different in previous comments. This is an 83, 84, 85, but it does sound a little bit irony in there as well. So who knows? Let's take the top off. Well, now it sounds pretty good. Is it a coin? Don't think so. Well, it's a clod shot, which is a good. Everyone likes a clod shot. What is that? That is surely not it. That is it. Well, that is something. What is that? Is that lead? It is. It's lead. Right. Let's get you into the sun and out the wind and try and figure out what this is. Now, we got a sort of bronze stylus in this field previously, but this is lead. Now, they did make styluses from lead as well, but I'm at a loss as to what that is. Maybe just a bit of junk. I'm sure it had a purpose. So if you know, then let me know in the comments below. This could well be my last signal. I'm only 20 metres from the edge of the field. And it sounds pretty good. An 84. Something really good just to finish the day. Maybe another peacock to go with my peacock. What have we got? Nope. Oh, there's something round. And that is something round. Oh. Oh, it's a coin. Oh, it's an unusual coin. That looks like Victoria, almost. But it's a weird size. Maybe a farthing? Right. Let's get the brush out. I'm not going to wet this. Just going to give it a wee gentle rub. Almost looks a bit like someone riding a horse on the back, does it not? Or is that just my imagination? Right, let's give this side a wee rub. Well, it doesn't look definitely like Britannia, does it? Interesting. Right, what's this side? Is it a horse? If it is a horse, then it's not Britannia. That is a horse. 100% that is a horse. Well, I'm at a loss with that one. Right, give me a minute. Oh, I've dropped it. It wouldn't be me if I didn't drop it, would it? Right, give me a minute off camera. I'm going to give this a wee rub-a-dub and get right back to you. Okay, so that didn't really help. Now, about 38% of my followers are American from the United States. And about 1.8% are French. And I think it could be French or American. It's copper, I believe. And it is a figure that looks a little bit like Victoria, but I think it could be Liberty, possibly? Could it be Lady Liberty? Is that what her name is? Now, what's confusing me completely is on the back, because that is definitely someone riding a horse. Now, there is a date at the bottom. It's either 1887, 1837, or it could even be 1737 or 1787. So, I don't know if that helps anyone at all, but I'm going to have to get this in the light box when I get home and see if we can make out who it is. But it is a first. I have never had one of these before. And I hope it is ultra rare and it's worth £1 million. I'm not greedy. So, let me know in the comments below. I'm very, very happy with that. Might even rival the peacock. Okay, this is going to be my last target because I'm just a few feet from the edge of the field. 80. 81, you can see all the deer prints as well. As you'll see in the video earlier, I saw a couple, well 3 or 4 that I managed to sneak up on and get on video. And I think that's it right there. And, well, we started with a great find. We almost finished with a great find with a coin. But our last find is the dreaded aluminium. Oh well. Well, I don't get to show you enough of the beautiful countryside in Perthshire, but I can give you a little sneaky peek. Look at that for a sunset. And that big mound on the left-hand side, which is about 200 metres across, is where the old fort used to be. Well, before I freeze to death, I think we'll call it a day. So that has been a great start and a very good end, and a few things in between as well. So let's go back, get the light box out and have a closer look, especially at this little peacock and this interesting little coin. So don't go anywhere. Well, I'm back inside and we've got the light box out, and this is the highlights of today's finds. A fairly eclectic mix, and this thing here is actually from the last dig, but I failed to put it in the video and a couple of people mentioned it. Not really sure what this is. To me it looks a little bit kind of religious. That edge around the decoration, it's clearly been bent at the bottom. And that I think is a fixing of some description. It's got a letter Y in the centre of the circle, and I don't really know what that is. So I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on that. But to me, it's just got that kind of church-like look about it. I don't think it's a pendant. I mean, it might be decoration, it might be some sort of badge off of a vehicle, but you can let me know in the comments below. So I'll get the junky sort of finds out the way first. So this thing here, it's got a couple of rivets in the end. It's some sort of copper strap. I think it's not particularly old. Initially when I found it, I wondered if it could be some sort of strap end, but I don't think so. And then we've got a little, what I think is a whiskey lid, a little crimped lid, but I cannot make out who the maker is. So if any of you have got better eyesight than me, or any whiskey aficionados out there, then feel free to let me know what distillery you think that might be. I think the word that I thought was maybe millers is actually distillers. So the maker is round the edge there, but I just can't make out enough of it. So let me know again in the comments if you know, but probably going to be around the 1850 to 1950s, give or take, I would reckon. And then we've got this curious little lump of lead. So it looks like it's gone to a point. And I really don't know what that is. Some sort of pendulum, maybe some sort of plumb bob for getting, getting a straight sort of hanging. Don't know what the hell I'm trying to say, but I'm sure you know what I mean. So yeah, made of lead. Really not sure what that is, but it's broken at the tip. You probably hear my dog in the background making a racket as usual. This is a postal bag crimp. So this is from Dundee, which is a city on the east coast of Scotland. And probably dates to around the 1900s. Had a lot of them over the years. And then we've got a little coin, which is very shiny George V, 1 penny from 1916. Then we get these two curious things, which I really don't know what these are or what they're off of, but possibly electric cabling or something like that. I really don't know what they're made of, but they are incredibly heavy. So if you know what they are, then let me know in the comments. Then the murder. So what I think is possibly a Belgian pigeon ring off of the leg of a pigeon. I think it's 1967. And this little bird probably met its end thanks to a sparrowhawk. Thankfully no leg bone contained with it. But be interested to know if that is from Belgium and if it is indeed from 1967. Then two of the best finds. Well, initially I wondered if this could be Queen Victoria, and then I thought maybe it was Liberty and it was either French or American, but it turns out it is British. Now you can see the horse figure on the reverse. I'll put a little picture up that shows you what it should look like. And the date at the bottom is 1837. Now on the reverse you've actually got a man on a horse, and it's actually George slaying the dragon. And it says the letters at the top, to Hanover. And this is a very limited edition sort of token produced in 1837. It's made of copper. It weighs about 2.75 grams. And it is a token. Often they're known as Cumberland Jacks. And you've got Victoria's portrait on one side, and on the reverse, George slaying the dragon is normally found on half sovereigns and sovereigns, which are the gold coins, which is what kind of threw me. And the history behind these pieces are that when Queen Victoria was crowned, she was unable to fulfil the role of the King of Hanover because under the Salic law, she was a woman and you were not allowed to be a queen of the Hanoverians, only a king. So she sent her very unpopular uncle, who was called Ernest Augustus, also known as the Duke of Cumberland. He was the oldest male heir to the throne after Victoria. So she sent him off to Hanover to fulfil the role as the King of Hanover. And these tokens or counters were produced to commemorate, or in fact celebrate, his departure, because he was so unpopular that people were happy to see the back of him. And apparently a lot of the reverse, which is the figure on the horse, is Ernest Augustus. But a lot of these tokens, when they were produced, on closer inspection, Ernest, instead of being a man portraying the Duke, is actually a monkey on the horseback. So I don't know if I've got one of them, but either way, this is a fairly rare. They apparently were produced between 1837, which this one is stamped, but that doesn't mean it was actually made then, and they continued to be produced for a few decades, and they were finally made illegal in 1883. So I've never found one of these before, and I've never seen one until I was able to research online. It took me about an hour to track down, but that's a really interesting coin. And then lastly, I haven't really done anything with a peacock because I tend not to clean my finds, but you can see it's a little peacock with its head looking to the left, and it's got about 8 stones left in it, but it's lost the majority of them, and that is a really, really beautiful thing. I really love that. I think a lot of the stones would have been blue and green, looking at the colours that's coming through it, and I think it's just paste because the stones won't clean up any more than that. So it's a little bit of costume jewellery. You can see on the reverse it's been pressed, and you can see where the pin and the catch plate have been. So it's a really interesting little thing. Now, date-wise, I'm not really sure. What do you reckon? Let me zoom in a little bit on it. I'm going to guess it's probably Victorian, so that would put it between sort of 1837 and 1901, and obviously would have been worn, I would think, by a lady. So that's definitely, for me, I think between that and the coin, I think that's find of the day. So I'll also put up another photograph of the coin just to show you how it would have looked. But yeah, that's a really excellent day out. So apologies for my dog chewing away on her toy next to me. Hopefully the sound is not too loud. But thank you all for watching, and we will see you all, hopefully, on the next dig. Thanks for watching.